Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
And greetings, race fans! Hello, welcome along to Apex Online Racing, where tonight is time for round number 3 of Season 20. It is the first time ever heading to the Hanoi street circuit, the capital of this country. We are in Vietnam for the Vietnam Grand Prix, and what should be a very interesting race indeed. It's located next to the Mai Dian National Stadium, and it's a mix of a purpose-built and temporary street circuit made by everyone's favourite track designer, Herman Tilke. As you can see from the on-screen stuff, quite a bit of a pit straight there with some pre-made placements there, and it was due to hold its first race, of course, this year until that thing happened with the global pandemic. But doesn't stop us from racing around this 3.484 mile 23 turn mix of temporary and permanent street track, and what should be another exciting race here tonight for PS4 F1. We will set a lap record round here tonight as well, with it being the first ever race around here. Beautiful country though, fantastic to be here, and hoping you're looking forward to a brilliant race here tonight. My name is Andy Campbell. I'll be taking you through the action, and you will have to unfortunately deal with me running solo here tonight as well, because my commentating partner in crime, Mr. Kieran McGinley, is elsewhere. I'll go through that in a wee moment. With the tyres on screen, note soft, medium and the hard. 1.3 seconds between the soft and the medium, and 2 seconds between the soft and the hard. So it's definitely going to be a yellow and red banded tyre race, but those softs can go off pretty quickly indeed. As I say, my name is Andy Campbell. Welcome along to tonight's stream. Great to have you here as well. And as I say, yeah, it's just myself here this evening. Kieran has, as he mentioned last week, he's been at Silverstone this weekend, commentating at the track. Very well deserved as well, of course, absolutely. He's been at Silverstone for the Ferrari Challenge UK series, I think it is, that he's been doing. So really fantastic to see him doing some real life stuff, and he would love to have been here to help me out on this very tricky and interesting track, but of course, due to all of that, it's not going to be the case here tonight. So you'll have to deal with my dulcet tones, unfortunately, I'm afraid to say, but hopefully you will enjoy the actions. We're getting ready to ready up very shortly. That made a lot of sense. But before we do, let's go back over last week's result at the Bahrain Grand Prix at the Sakir International Circuit. And finally, he done it last week, finally winning his first ever AOR F1 PS4 victory. It was Blizzard taking the checkered flag first, finally becoming the bride after so many attempts at being the bridesmaid. He'd had enough at that one. Finally got that first victory on the board. Caden Forbes and Aero rounded out the podium, benefiting slightly from the safety car, but he had to be there on that alternative strategy, and they made it work for him very nicely indeed. But these results are still provisional. There has been some stewards' inquiries put forward in regards to some incidents and penalties, etc. So these might change. If any of that does happen as we go through this, over the next couple of weeks, I will of course bring you up to date when I am aware of it. And as you can see, it was Yuri that took the fastest lap, 128.3 on there. It does mean in the Drivers' Championship that Blizzard leads the way on 43 points. Domi still in second after his Australia victory on 25, and Caden Forbes jumping all the way up from 0 to 18 with his second place last week. Two Force Indias, there we go, I've done it already, it's only round 3. 2 racing points in the top 10, along with the 2 Williams and 2 Alfa Romeos. Andreas rounding out the field. And Andreas was the only non-mover in the top 10 last week from round 1. He stays in 10th position, having been there when we started last week in Bahrain as well. And then in the Constructors' Championship, Williams leading the way, already got a full race victory in their pocket over Racing Point. Haas in third place, Red Bull up to fourth. Red Bull jumping 7 places thanks to Caden's result last week. Gamer also picking up a few points as well. McLaren and Ferrari rooted to the bottom of the standings. And Ferrari have been there for the last couple of seasons as well, so they will really want to get a move on with that and get some points on the board. The problem is they still only have one driver in Johan at the moment. No replacement for Hercules, who has not taken part at all, having changed his mind or something. I don't know what it was through the time. But that is the standings going into tonight. Any changes happen, as I say, due to any stewards' decisions, I will let you know when we know. The stewards have a very, very hard job with all the tiers here to keep up with everything, and of course, their real life. They dedicate time in their spare time to do it, as do everybody that runs these kind of leagues, whether it be here on AOR or elsewhere. So we've got to give a big shout to everybody that helps to do that in behind the scenes. The drivers are just heading to track, but we'll be going there very shortly. First of all, it's time for this week's Scott Lap off this brand new track. Many people might not know it too well. You might have taken a few laps and decided, like me, I don't like this place, because me trying to drive around here is like trying to throw a cat around the living room. So if you want a little bit of help, here it is for you. Welcome along to the Scott Lap for this week at a completely brand new circuit here in Vietnam, the Hanoi Street Circuit, 5.6 kilometres long, 23 turns in total. And this week we're on board with a McLaren of SMM Iceman, already hurtling towards turn number 1, hitting the brakes around 100 metres. It's a very tight and deceptive turn 1. You can see a little bit of lock up there on the inside, using a lot of the curb to basically hop across, and the same through turn 2 as well, which is just going to blend into the pit exit. It's going to be a very tricky one during the race. Through the curves to turn number 3, 4 to the left and then 5 to the right. We've got a long, one of the first long straights here on the track, heading down towards what is turns 6, 7 and 8. And you can see getting on the brakes there for turn number 6, around about 800 metres to maybe even 75. A lot of inside curb on both the right and the left. Let the car just drift to the outside through this curving turn 8. It just goes on forever and ever. You need to be very patient on the throttle coming out of here, because then you've got another long blast out of turn 9 down to the next braking zone. Through the curve for turn 10, DRS will be available down here as well. There'll be plenty of overtaking opportunities as we come down into what is turn at number 11, and another extremely tight corner as we get on the brakes. The curbing coming in on your right is your reference point if you can catch it. Missing the curb a little bit on the inside there, so the apex could have been slightly better for Iceman on this occasion, but it's still a very good turn through the curve of turn 12, and another shorter straight heading up towards turn 13. A very exciting part of the track coming up here as you slow down once again around 75 metres, using a lot of inside curb and a little bit on the exit as well. Now we go through 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's just an ever-flowing section of lefts, rights, designed off of Suzuka's S's, even a little bit off of Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone as well, and then up to the final 2 corners, turns 22 and then into turn 23 as well. So to be very careful through the first part. Across the line we go, and that is a lap of Hanoi. And that was this week's Scott Lap. Thank you very much to Iceman for providing that to us as well. Hope that gave you a little bit of a more in-depth look into the Hanoi Street Circuit. A very interesting track, some really long slipstreaming effect areas, some really tight corners as well. You really do need to absolutely abuse the heck out of the curbs around here. And then that Essie section at the end, the walls are so close to you. It's absolutely incredible just how close they are to the walls. But as you can see, we are out on the track now. Qualifying is underway. We're watching Ayamote at the moment as he goes around on his qualifying lap. He's in that Essie section just now, and you can see what I'm talking about when it comes to how close the walls are going through there. Keeping it nice and easy. You're probably never under really 100 miles an hour through here. Come up to the last couple of corners, turns 22 and 23. Lock of the brakes there from the Italian. He did get a slipstream effect from his teammate while he was on that lap, and he sets a 1:32.7, so already beaten my predicted pole time, which was expected to be a 1:33s somewhere, but I did think 32 might come about, as Liam puts himself into pole position with a 32.765, so he goes 1/100th quicker than Ayamote, as Aero puts himself into third position. 17 drivers here tonight. Zach has just put in a lap there, but that's definitely not a representative lap. But while we do have the Frenchman on the screen, he did miss last week, you might remember, in Bahrain, and there's the reason why he returns tonight, because last week Zach here was in Magny-Cours, the old Grand Prix track for the French Grand Prix, taking part in the French F4 Championship, and picked up a couple of podiums on the way as well during last week's event in those Formula 4 cars. So congratulations to him on that, and hopefully when he has his next out and he can take a victory, so I can give a little update to you all in regards to that as well. But as we can see there on the screen, we've got Gamer now at the top of the standings, of 32.6 from the Red Bull driver. You can see he's just staying out of the way of one of the Renaults there at the last moment. Going to be a lot of slipstreaming down here as well, as Blizzard, your championship leader, at 32.3. We might even get into the 31s here. We might even make 31. You never know. I mean, these guys are seriously quick. I've tried this track, and I don't know about yous, but sorry, I do not like it at all. No way. It's just, I can't drive. But anyway, Blizzard at the top, 2 times clear of Domi, who's just gone up into second position in the other half. So a good lap time there from Domi, the Australian Grand Prix winner from round number 1, looking to bounce back after a bit of a terrible Bahrain race last week. Had a spin out, and that dropped him down the leaderboard. 2 Williams, 2 Haases in the top 5 at the moment. Michi coming through in the Mercedes. He's in 7th now, because Gilles, Zach's teammate in the AlphaTauri, has just gone within a 10th of a second on Blizzard at the top of the standings. So a good lap time there from the Frenchman. Rounding out the top 10 at the moment, Surface, the Greek driver, coming back around at the moment. He's in 8th. Suzo is in 9th, and Sam Yubin in 10th in the Renault. And I do believe this might actually be Sam Yubin's final race tonight. He doesn't feel he's got the time. I did see something in the forums. I might be wrong. We'll wait and confirm it next week, but we might be the last time we see the Spaniard in here, as he takes the short way through turns 3 and 4. And he's lap back to pits. Aero in 11th, Caden Forbes last week's second position in 12th, Johan in the Sol Ferrari in 13th, Lee Finlay the Scotsman down in 14th position at the moment, Zach in 15th back in pit lane, and the 2 McLarens, Dario and Boss, have yet to set a lap time at the moment. I'm sure we can expect them out before the end of the session. We'll follow around with Lee Finlay at the moment, Chinese Grand Prix winner from last season, one of 3 winners in the field now with Blizzard and Domi. He's looking to come back to form. Not scored any points yet, has Lee Finlay. It's been a bit of a troublesome start to the season. He'll admit it himself, it's not been too great. And you can see just how much you can get away with using the curbs through here, through turn 13. The stadium to our right hand side, as we fly up through the gears going left, right, left, right, left, right. It's just constant all the way through. It's no wonder there's 23 turns on this track. Use the inside curb as much as you can, and again just take it nice and easy. Miss the wall on the outside. Up to the last corner, you want to just breathe off the throttle slightly, but not too much, because you'll hit that wall and that will invalidate a lap time. And Lee's only gone 14th at the moment, 2 seconds down on Blizzard at the top of the standings. Your championship leader is staying out of the way of one of the McLarens, and that will be Dario, who's out on track at the moment. His teammate Boss is still in the pits. Wee bit in there, why is this one started an hour earlier? Well, PS4, this is the top tier of PS4. This one always starts an hour earlier than all the other tiers. So last season, the top tiers for all 3 platforms were staggered. It was PS4 at 7, PC at 8, along with every other tier, and Xbox top tier was at 9. This season, every tier is 8 o'clock, except for PS4 top tier, which is still 7 o'clock. So we get to go first, basically. We are. Some people would say the starter to the main course later on, but I'm not too sure. I like to think of us as the the main event sometimes, but then again, that's maybe me just being a little bit biased, obviously. That's quite fair to say, but that's why PS4 F1 has always started at 7 o'clock. All the other tiers will start at 8 o'clock. Make sure once we get to the end of this stream to go and check out the other tiers as well, which will be starting. Top 3 tiers are normally commentated on, our top tiers definitely are. Got some fantastic commentators throughout the tiers. Go check them out, support the channel, support the commentators as well, and support the drivers. Give them some views, give the channel some likes. If you've not already, subscribe to the channel as well. Over 13,000 just recently in the last couple of weeks, so do just hit that subscribe button. Plenty going on here on AOR. iRacing League, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Project Cars 2 GT Freeze on a Wednesday, very popular one as well, and GT Sports. But this is the Hype Energy F1 League on F1 2020, and this is the top tier on the PS4. Some of the top drivers on the console is Liam coming towards the end of his lap. Pole sitter in Australia. Dropped down to third position at the end. Had a terrible Bahrain race. Didn't do as much practice as he normally would. He'll admit it himself. And he's not gone any faster there. Let's just bring the lap data up so we can actually see who's doing what. Oh, Gamer getting very close to the wall there. Coming out of what I believe is turn 5 or 6. I'm not going to be too good with the corner numbers here. I'm still learning my way round this place, but that was very close to the wall. That was actually at the start of the lap there for the Red Bull, as Dario puts himself up into P3, 1/10 down in McLaren. It's a good lap time there from Dario, and he'll be looking for another good race. He had a decent one in Australia, ended up just outside the top 10. He's the man who scored the only 2 points for McLaren so far this season. Didn't have the greatest of times last week in Bahrain, outside the top 10, but that's a good place to start, is up the order here tonight. As you can see here, we're on board with Gamer. Let's just pick up where we are on the track at the moment and try and get the track map. He's at turn 13, coming up towards 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You get the point. It just go, oh, that's a big moment there from the Red Bull driver. That's going to certainly have cost him about 2 to 3 attempts, I would say, on that lap. Collects it very nicely and heads straight back to pit lane with that one. And that's the thing with pit lane. It's a slow pit lane to some extent, but you cut out the final 2 corners, so it's going to be a tactical one. Pit exit as well, as you just seen with Surface there, going through turns 1 and 2. It comes out right onto the racing line through turn number 2, so it is absolutely amazing. I'd love to be in a race knowing this guy's commentating. Great energy. I try my best. I'm a little bit luckier this week, if I'm being honest. Normally, I try and keep my voice down a bit because I've got neighbours and my partner. My partner's at her mum's tonight, so I'm being a little bit louder than normal. But I do try to keep the energy up regardless, so thank you very much. I do really appreciate it. It's nice to know people do enjoy what I do, actually, and it certainly does help on days when it's been a struggle, because today's been one of those days a little bit, to be honest. It's been a little bit today, but very nice to hear, so thank you, Husky. Really appreciate it. As Jules puts himself into pole position, 32.3, 2 hundredths clear of Blizzard at the top of the standings. Blizzard is out on track at the moment. I'm going to put the telemetry up as well, in fact, for the rest of this. You can see he's got enough fuel coming down towards the end of sector 1 into sector 2, so he's down at 6-7 through turn 8 and then turn 9. Lovely overhead camera shot as we now head back up with the cars coming down the other side. And this is a really long bit of track. DRS will be open and up now, and it's going to give him an extra 5 to 10 miles an hour or so down the rest of this curved straight through turn 10, heading up to a very, very tight hairpin here at turn 11, down to first gear, 35-40 miles an hour on the apex there, through turn 12 and up towards turn 13 now. And this is a corner you can use a lot of inside curb, locking up as well. As long as you keep 2 wheels on the right side of the curb, you're going to be fine there. And then just snake your way through this part. It's been designed against the S's at Suzuka, was the inspiration for this part of the track, but much, much quicker and more dangerous for the walls, so close as well. And already gone from turn 13 up towards turn 22, and now up towards turn 23, the final corner on the track. Blizzard out at ERS as he heads to the line, but it doesn't matter for the championship leader. 1/10 clear, a 32-1. We are getting precariously close to breaking the 132 barrier here. Could we do that? before the end of the session. That would definitely be an interesting one to see. Watching Sam Eubine at the moment. Everybody on the soft compound of tyres, which is no surprise to see. And Sam Eubine heads back to pit lane. He should just have enough time to get back out on a fresh set of tyres. Suzo up to third position with his lap time there a few moments ago. So a good lap time there from the Racing Point driver, the Spaniard. We're hoping for a good result as well. Sitting nicely in the championship standings at the moment. If I remember correctly, it was about 4th position, if I remember, that he is currently in just now. It is indeed 16 points, 2 points behind Caden Forbes. So that's a good little bit there, and for P3, it's definitely going to be something to keep an eye on for him as we go through tonight as well. Ayamoti's on an out lap. Blizzard and Suzo are heading back to pit lane, as I imagine Lee Finley will be as well, just trying to get back in the nick of time to put some fresh tyres on and get back out. And there's that fast pit lane entry. And got to have got that slowed down, obviously, because no penalty came up, but that looked very quick indeed. Dario on an out lap at the moment, as is Caden Forbes. And I believe that might be Gamer up ahead as well. So the Red Bulls looking to play this tactically as we come to the end of the session. And you do see that sometimes through the... excuse me. Ooh, got the wrong button now. So you do see that obviously with the teammates trying to help each other through qualifying especially. And obviously Dario's not got his teammate there at this point in time, so he's looking to just get a bit of a budge on. And I'm sure the Red Bulls will be more than happy to oblige in letting that papaya orange McLaren through so that they can do their own thing and do the best they can to help each other. 2 minutes 40 to go, and it is Blizzard at the top from Gio and Suso, your 1, 2, 3, Williams, Alpha Tauri and Racing Point. McLaren in 4th with this man Dario, Domi in 5th with his teammate Ayamotti in 6th. It's on all Haas row 3 at the moment. Surface in the Renault in 7th, Boss in the other McLaren in 8th. He's still in pit lane, so you'd expect to see him out shortly. Gamer 9th and Liam rounding out the top 10. Half a second covers the top 10 at this point in time with 2 minutes 10 to go. Then it's Michi, Aero, Sam Eubine, Caden Forbes, Johan, Zach and Lee Finley rounding out the field. We're going to follow Dario at the moment, giving the McLaren driver a little bit of screen time. See what he can do around this tricky circuit as Lee Finley retires, so he's going to be last on the field without any penalties that we've not noticed. Coming through out of turns 3, 4 and 5, heading up towards turn number 6. Hard on the brakes, really abuse the curbs through here, like massively abuse the curbs. You basically hop them through 6 and 7. Through the curve, V8 and 9, and one more time heading along, and he's got his teammate there ahead of him, so that's where Boss was. That's why he was waiting. McLaren playing the game as well, but instead of going out at the same time, Boss has waited, and now he's just going to pull alongside. Let his teammate go up to nearly 208 miles an hour before he jams the brakes on down into turn number 11 through the curve of turn 12. Short sprint up to 13 now. Coming towards the end of sector 2 very soon. There he is, he's 100th up on his sector 2 time, so he's looking at an improvement at the moment, but he's going to need to find a 10th and a bit if he wants to get into that top 3. Does Dario? He's going to have to really pin it between the walls here, using all the curb to try and hook the car into the corner up towards 22 and now up to 23. Everybody on the track except for Gamer and Lee Finley. Dario to the line, can he improve? P2 for the McLaren driver, 1 tenth down, so he found 2 tenths in that final sector. That's a brilliant lap time there from him, and you can see here the Haas drivers working together, nearly 210 miles an hour there for Domi as the 2 Italians work together in the Haas to try and help each other along. 15 seconds to go. Ayamoti's not going to get another lap in as Michi in the McLaren putting him, in the Mercedes, up to P2, and that is a very good lap time indeed. We're going to jump back to Domi, who's just coming towards the end of his lap now as the checkered flag is out on the track. End the session. Gamer's going to be outside, as is Sam Eubine. Here comes Domi across the line, clips the wall on his way through. He only moves up ahead of his teammate in his 7th. That's not what he would have been looking for at all out of this one. We'll just work our way. Let's find Blizzard. I know he'll be kicking around somewhere in a lap. There's his teammate. Not quite going quick enough, I don't think. Blizzard's going to catch him. You see the two AlphaTauris working together as well. This is coming down towards turns 11 and 12. Michi retires from the session. He's obviously finished anyway. 8/100ths down is the German in the Mercedes. Really nice lap time. Starting to come into his own a little bit. Struggled a little bit in round one. Got caught out in the first corner. We're watching the championship leader winner last week in Bahrain. Trying to see if he can put it on pole position as well. And what would be the second race in a row too, because he took pole position last week also. So can he make it 3 pole positions in a row to start the season for Williams, with his teammate Liam taking pole position in Australia, clocking up into 22. Coming up towards turn 23, I don't know if it's going to quite be enough for Blizzard. He crosses the line and he does not improve. 2 attempts down. Ghoulies in the wall, so he's not going to improve in any way. Let's just see if anyone else. No, I think Liam's the only one on a lap, but he's trailing in, so doesn't matter for Blizzard. It's all worked out in the end, and the Williams is on pole position. Once again, 3 in a row for Williams in terms of pole positions to start the season. It's Blizzard taking his second pole position running, and he'll be hoping to make that into a second consecutive race victory as well. A brilliant lap from him, a 132.1, but look how close it is. The top 7 are covered by exactly 2 tenths. In fact, the 6th and 7th, which was I think it was Gule and Suso, are actually the same lap time to the thousandths of a second. We'll go through the qualifying standings with you now. As Blizzard, a 32.161. Michi in second position. Italian, actually, as I said, Germans. There you go. Dario in third. Gilles in fourth. Surface up there in fifth for Renault. A good result there from the Greek driver. It's Zach in sixth on his return. The exact same time. 32.361 to Suso in seventh. Domi in eighth with Ayamoti's teammate. Ninth. Boss rounds out the top 10. They'll all start in the soft compound tyres. Gamer in 11th. Liam in 12th, Caden Forbes 13th, Samuel Bean in 14th, Aero 15th, Johan in 16th, and Lee Finlay rounds out the field in 17th position. The top 16 covered by just over 1 second, and the top 15 by just under that 1 second barrier. As we wait for him to load up on the grid, we get to see car going round this track, and it's just a very nice, interesting livery on that one as well, keeping it nice and simple. We actually get to see a more traditional car taking the classic lap this week, so pretty nice to see. It looks like, I'm looking out the commentary box window at the moment, onto pit lane, and it is dry, and that means, unless there's rain expected later on in the race, we won't have any issues with the intermediates or the wet weather tyres here tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how this race goes. I mean, it's the first time that we have seen the Hanoi Street Circuit here in AOR. I know it's been seen elsewhere, so some of these drivers may have some experience, but it's definitely going to be a bit of a step into the unknown for quite a few people, and indeed for myself here in the commentary box. Never done a race here at Vietnam. When I first got the game, it was one of the first tracks I loaded up. I done 5 laps, and then I quit. I just could not get a flow around it, and when you consider that Monaco is one of my least favourite tracks, what do you expect? But anyway, we will be getting underway with the formation lap in just a moment's time, as we see the stock car, so to speak, going round the final few parts of the lap, and perfect timing, because the formation lap is underway. And let's have a wee look and see what the tyres are like. So we know the top 10 are on the soft compound tyres. Everyone outside the top 10 is on the mediums, except for Mr. Finlay. So the Scotsman's gone for the hard compound tyres. Now that is definitely an interesting one there for the Mercedes driver, because those tyres are about 2 seconds down on what you'd expect in terms of overall delta. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. in this race. Predicted stops is a two-stopper, they're saying here, but I'm thinking someone will go for a one. Medium soft soft or medium medium soft. But top 10 are on soft compounded tyres. I would expect we'll probably see them in quite early doors, maybe from around about lap 6 to 10 roughly. We'll hopefully get the information up as the race goes by, but that is the man on pole position, and he's also in pole position in the championship, just gently weaving at around about 160-70 miles an hour as if it's nothing down towards turn number 11 and 12. I'll do my best to keep up with everything, but there we go again. For those in the softs, 8 to 11 is expected first stop. And then if they do a two-stopper, that'll be somewhere around the late teens to the early 20s. 28 lap race around here ahead of us. Be around about 150 kilometres. Full race distance is around about the 300 kilometre mark around all Grand Prix tracks. Just while they're coming around to the end. Championship. Well, just while they're coming around, let me quickly show you. There you go. Since you're seeing it, asking for it in the chat, Blizzard leads 43 points to Domi in second and 25, so it's an 18-point lead for the Williams driver. Caden Forbes up there in third position with Suzo in fourth, Liam in fifth, and then Aero Gio, Oscar Marino, who's now left the league as well, so he will be dropping out of the top 10 before long. Mish in ninth, and Andreas rounding out the top 10. So that is your driver standings. As I catch a quick drink, because the drivers are at the start line. We're getting ready for 28 laps here at Hanoi. Waiting 5 red lights. And round number 3 is underway, and let's see what the starts are like. We're going to just need to do it by visuals because the stand-ins are going nuts. Blizzard's got a good start there. Mishi's doing not bad. There's a Renault diving up the inside. That's Samu Bean going for the aggressive move on the inside there as everybody piles through turns 1, 2 and 3. We've got cars all over the place, but Blizzard we know has got a good start up towards the front of the field. Ignore the stand-ins you're seeing at the moment, they are completely wrong. Well, they all just filter themselves out. We're just going to try and bring it to the front. There is Blizzard. He's got one of the McLarens. That'll be Dario up there in P2 following him through. There is the McLaren. We've got the two Alpha Tauris up next to Gio and Zach as everything now finally settles down on the timings. That's so frustrating, by the way. Really, really is. So it's Blizzard from Dario. Gio, Zach's had a good start as well. Up 2 positions already. Mish dropping down 3 positions. He just can't get a good start. Happened in Australia as well for the Mercedes driver. Dropping down the field, but he's pretty close to the back of the Frenchman coming up towards turn 11. Going to need to be careful on the brakes. Concertina effect into 11 and through 12. No way through. So it's Blizzard, Dario, Gio, Zach, Mish, Suso in 6. Surface down 2 places from P5 down to 7th. Domi and Ayamotti hold 8th and 9th, and Liam rounding out the top 10. Samu Bean flying at the start here, already up 3 positions, passing Gamer there for 11th. Gamer down to 12th, his teammate just behind Caden Forbes in 13th. Aero in 14th, and Boss has had a horrible start. Biggest loser on lap 1 down to 15th position. Johan already just about out of DRS, it would seem, according to that, but he's not, because you can see how close he is. And Lee Finley just hanging on to the back on the alternate strategy. Meanwhile, looks like Surface has dropped down the field possibly again as we get the pit strategy coming back up. The car is ghosting, so it's not actually, he's in 6th still. Shows him in 9th, but he's actually 6th, so just to make my life even harder. Joys. As you come down, and you can see it's just adjusting itself again on screen, but Blizzard's starting to try and pull a gap now over the rest of the field. You can see Dario's just about, namer tag up there is just disappearing. It says it's 6/10 of a second, but I would say it's more than that, to be perfectly honest with you. As the Italian tries to hold on. He's just about starting to get a bit of a gap on Gio and Zach, the 2 Frenchmen in the AlphaTauri. 3rd and 4th good start from them. Let's just work our way down the field, see where everyone else is. It's going to be tricky to keep up, I think, because some of these timings don't look right to me. But then again, that just might be my eyes. Blizzard looks more than 6 times clear, that's what it looks to me, but anyway, that's besides the point. He's had a very good start. Now, can he keep those tyres in good nick, get him through to whenever he had planned? Make a pit stop. He just bumped the wall there. Sam, you've been pitting already and picking up a penalty for speeding. Now, is this a change for a burst front wing maybe? He did go, you've seen it at the start, he went up the inside into turn 1. He was about 3 or 4 wide into there. It doesn't look like it was a bad move. Yeah, there's a wing being changed there on the Reynolds, so the Spaniard has had a bump in the opening laps, trying to just hold it out, but not working at all. The ghosting Husky was surface, and it was not supposed to happen because it just basically hadn't picked up his transponder for some reason. So he was showing him a 9th at that point when he wasn't. So you will see ghosting if people are getting lapped. That does happen. But that'll be that. Sam, you've been just out of pit lanes, already picked up a penalty for warnings. So that's not going to be too good. Look at Gio though. Right on the back of Dario, down towards turn number 11. They've really closed back up to Blizzard. Dario goes really late in the brakes. Looks like he's got a lot of braking confidence down there, because he really got that one slowed down in time and closed up. So Blizzard's now got a bit of a fight in his hands, because obviously DRS is enabled now, of course, being on lap 3, and the Brit in the Williams doesn't have it because he's got no one ahead of him. Dario's looking really racy again though in the McLaren. Just needs to keep it clean this week. Picked up a few penalties before, cost him a bit of time. Dropped down the field as well. Just needs to keep it clean. Stick with Blizzard. Probably the best thing he can do right now. He's come down the front straight. And look at that, it's Gio going up the inside of Dario. Wasn't quite expecting that when they caught me off guard. The McLaren holds on, but now the AlphaTauri is going to go to the inside, and as you can see, he's got the move done through turns 2, 3, through 4 and 5, and the Frenchman goes ahead of the Italian there, and the AlphaTauri up to P2. That was opportunistic if I've seen it. Puts the Italian back down into his starting position. It also looks like though, maybe some wing damage on that AlphaTauri, or am I just seeing things? No, everything is fine. Let's have a look at Blizzard's car. It looks like Blizzard has some wing damage though. Yeah, he does. To the inside, there it is there. He's missing the end fence on the right-hand side. So he's either clipped the wall somewhere, or someone's gone up the inside. It's given a little bit of a knock, but that is going to really make that car understeer badly, especially through this next section. Let's go on board and just follow through, because through here especially, it's going to really look at that braking lines there. He's just struggling to get the car through the corner. Listen to the lift. Bigger lift through there than what he'd probably want to do. And he's having to downshift to hold on, so he's struggling away there with that wing, trying to just drag it out to the pit stop. But that is, to keep these guys behind, that is impressive so far. Can he do it all the way up to the pit stop? So that would be an interesting thing to see if he can do that. Look at that down the background. That's Zach going down the inside. A little bit of a bump there with Dario. They're wheel to wheel. They're locking wheels through turns 2 and up towards turns 3 and 4. Inside line for the McLaren. He could squeeze wide. Zach's had to take to the escape road. Picks up a 3-second penalty. He probably won't give the place back because he's got the time penalty to go with it. You can't really argue that one. And look at this up ahead. Gil trying to look onto the back of Blizzard. Now that he's got a little bit of gap. So AlphaTauri's 2 and 3, but Zach picked up a penalty with that one. Not good there for the Frenchman. Dario really just didn't give him too much space, so he didn't really give him much choice, but Zach went very early to the inside line. Let's jump on board with his teammate Gilles, who's got Blizzard in sight coming up towards turns 11 and 12. didn't mean to go back on board there, tried to come off board, and the Frenchman up into the lead of the race, but he's locked up and ran wide. Blizzard's going to go up the inside through 12, sliding through up towards turn 13 they come, but the AlphaTauri's got the inside line and a wing that's intact at this point as well, and Jules goes into the lead of the race. Blizzard down to second, and they're now in the sector where he's really going to struggle. Just watch the gap. Sorry, but in fact Blizzard doing a great job keeping up through here, but he needs to because he's got Zach in behind him, really pressuring. You can see how much he's running wide, coming out of 21 into 22. We jump on board again with Blizzard now. Let's look back from his perspective. For the first time in the race, though, he does have DRS to assist. He's going to have to defend here from Zach. You look to the inside, there is the AlphaTauri. Oh, he's locked up going wide. He's forced the Williams wide. Blizzard's going to have to take the long way back on, and Zach's made his way through, and well, he locked up and pushed Blizzard wide there a little bit. That might be one that goes a little bit later on. We'll need to see as Dario sneaks his way through as well, getting a better run out. So Blizzard's really starting to fall down the field now and struggle with... Oh, he's made up wing damage and more now on the other side, bumping into the back of Dario. He didn't have the downforce. He was so close to the back of the McLaren. Bumped the rear diffuser, and he's now knocked both sides off of that front wing. We're going to see Mish going by in just a second. Yeah, turn one, a bit of a dive bomb corner, it would seem there. Alimonda, I definitely agree with you, Mark. Here comes Mish. He's got the outside line coming into 11. He really breaks late. Where is Blizzard? There he is. We've got the side view here. Try to do the IndyCar cameras. Stream's not full 360. Got Blizzard there on the inside coming up towards 13. Where is he? Where is he? And he's behind us. The McLaren goes through up in, sorry, Mercedes goes through up into P4. Blizzard trying to follow through, but he's got no front wing at all. He's pushed up the inside and he's dropped down the field. Blizzard falling down the field. Where is he? Here he is. It looked like he just tried a bit of a push there. I'm not too sure what went on. He goes diving across into pit lane. 3-second penalty. Pit stops have started. Mish in, Suso's in, Surface is in as well, but Blizzard, my goodness me, that could have been a race ender there at the end of that sector 3, very, very close, and then cutting across in front of what I believe was Domi at the last minute, just because of where he was in the track. He didn't have much choice. Very, very difficult. But Domi survives with all pieces intact. I'm going to come back towards Dario. The top three trying to pull away, whereas Blizzard came out in this, so he's down in 16th position. And it's a set of hard compound tyres. He's actually going to come out in 17th position now. And he'll just get right ahead of Samu being in 16th, which is probably a good thing for him as well. So Blizzard back out in 16th on the hard compound tyres, as is Mish and Surface. Suso's gone for the mediums. So he's going for something a little bit different to the rest of them that have came in for the early first stops. Your top three now is Jules, Zach, Dario, Domi, Ayamote. I know we don't normally mention about teams, but IGK at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll be loving this right now, will the French outfit. Getting plenty of screen time here tonight are their drivers. And they're doing rather well too. When did the rest come? Oh, Jules coming, Dario's in. Zach obviously has to carry on one more lap. You can see the tyres are screaming enough as he slides out of turn 22. Pit window open, 2 stop safe for hard, but I think some of them are going to try one stoppers. Ayamote's had to carry on as well. Liam's carrying on, but he's of course on medium tyres, so he's not going to be too bad off. He's going to be a late stopper in this one. Let's see where Blizzard is in comparison. Long pit lane. He's just coming up towards 22 and 23. Is Jules underway? Yes, Jules is underway. You can see Blizzard just in the background. Jules going to get out with plenty of time to spare. A little bit of a cut across there from Dario coming out of pit lane. Keeping ahead of Lee Finlay on the hard compound tyre. Now that's crucial. That is very crucial there for Jules and for Dario to stay ahead of the long-running, hard compound tyred Lee Finlay, who's been on them since the start. Suso's got stuck in behind, which is an absolute nightmare for the Spaniard. He's going to need to try and do something very quickly, and he's going to just push his way through 8 and 9, and he's made his way ahead of the Scotsman as Aero and Gamer have a little bit of a ding-dong. Down towards turn 11 and 12, DRS there for the Dutchman. In the racing point, gets himself ahead. Surface has got himself ahead of Lee Finlay as well. Oh my goodness me, that was a weave. That was a big weave there as Dommy's coming through as well, really pushing his way. So he's actually just gained 2 places there. So he picked up the end of that. It was a huge weave from Surface. Don't know if there was contact or if he just had a bit of a worry, but wow, that was a big one. Zach Ayamotti into pit lane, so Liam is going to go on and take the lead off the race. That means everybody in the top 10 has now been into pit lane. We're going to pick up Gio, or Jui. I'll say his name wrong every week and then probably get it right in the last week that I ever do this. Lee Finlay pit. So I'm wondering if there's damage to Mercedes, but we pick up Gio. See where he comes out in comparison to his teammate who's in pit lane. Well, Zach is coming through pit lane now. It's a very quick pit lane exit. There he is! Can the overcut work? It has! Zach has jumped into the theoretical lead of the race with the overcut, staying out the 2 laps longer, or at least the 1 lap longer. He has made his way up and ahead of his teammate. But his teammate's going to fight this one with the DRS already. Look at Dario coming in behind as well. So Zach makes the overcut work. Wow, didn't expect that one. Overcut is usually the one that doesn't work. It's usually the undercut that gets you the positions, but Zach making the overcut work, despite the fact we've seen him sliding on those soft compounded tyres. He was struggling with them, it would seem. And you can see his teammate Gio is now going through in an easy pass. Now the AlphaTauris will play this clever, I am positive. Use the DRS to good effect. Use it to try and pull away from the rest of the field. That's a good point, Big C. Blizzard was holding a few and I'm up for a few seconds. That might have helped. But then again, Zach was kind of in that section at the same time. So either way, it was an impressive stint to get the overcut. But he's already dropped behind and he's now got Dario trying everything he can to get by and up into what would be a theoretical P2. At the moment, you can see here in the background, Suso is coming along as well. Dommy sticking onto the back. Blizzard is down in 14th position. That wing change has really cost him a lot of time. He's got 2.5 seconds to catch up to Mish. And there it is, down into turn number 1. So really late in the brakes, closing right up to the back of Dario. We're only on lap 10. So much has happened already. But at the moment, your leader is that man. It's a Williams, but it's Liam. It's not the pole sitter Blizzard. Liam on the alternative strategy, having been 11th on the grid. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, he's left the session. He's had a disconnection. He's not in control of that car at the most opportunistic time. Well, not the opportunistic time, the worst timing, sorry. The AI is now controlling that Williams. Just as the comment goes, what tyre will he be on at the end? If he doesn't get back in this lobby quickly, the AI is probably going to pit him at the end of this lap. Oh my, that's going to put Aero into the lead of the race shortly. Because we all know the AI is not that quick. Zach and Gio, oh my goodness me, 3 wide nearly into turn 11. Zach up the inside on his teammate Dario, trying to go the outside line and make it a sandwich. Zach gets through and retakes the position into 11 and 12 and retakes the theoretical lead of the race at the moment. Only 12 seconds behind. Liam's ghost car's in the pits and his race is ruined. 10 laps in, he's changing mediums because he's not in control of that car. Oh my goodness, how much bad luck do you need? Unbelievable. Unbelievable there for the Williams driver. That's really going to cost him later on in the race. And oh my, that's even if he gets back into the lobby. Goodness me. But we're going to concentrate on what's on track. Lap 11. Zach's got a little bit. Look at Dario hustling and hassling the back of Gilles. This is over 6th position at the moment. And he's going to have DRS to assist him here, and I don't think the AlphaTauri will. No, he doesn't. But is it a long enough straight? No, it's not long enough here, and it's a clever thing. Follow through 6, 7, 8 and 9. There's a longer run coming. And if Gilles doesn't have the DRS, then that's going to make a big difference as well. As we can see, Gamer taking the DRS to get himself by on Aero for what is the lead of the race just now before the turns of 11 and 12. Back to Dario. DRS on the Frenchman. It's in Italy v France. They've had many games of football where this has gone in one direction or the other. Where are we? Oh my goodness, I got mixed up what way I was looking there. Do apologise if that gave you a bit of a migraine. But Dario gets his way through and Gilles drops down to 7th position. I don't think Liam's back in this race yet. He's gone on, his AI's put him on soft compound tyres. Ow. That is going to hurt badly. Really going to hurt him. Oh my goodness me. Johan into pit lane. Zach's got himself out of DRS range. Really impressive, but Dario now is going to be hustling that McLaren along. Try and gain back up. Keep an eye on Julie. And Suso as well. Watch for the Spaniard in the racing point. He's been impressive, consistent, keeps himself under the radar a little bit, does Suso. He's had some good results. He's 4th in the championship, remember. He just keeps himself quiet. We don't see too much of him through the race. Just make sure he's there at the end, basically. Doing a great job at the moment. Oh my goodness, he's gone really late in the brakes. He's missed his braking big time, and a 3-second penalty for a corner cut. I doubt he'll give the position back there because he's given up he's got the 3-second time penalty. Can't really argue that one. Oh no, he is going to give the position back. You know what? Fair play. Fair play to the Spaniard. He's picked up a 3-second penalty and he still gave the place back there. That is pretty sporting, I must say. Because although he's got the DRS to go and try again. Oh, look out there in the background from Domi. He's going to try his luck as well, is he? No, he doesn't. Look at Gilles diving late up the inside line. He's giving Suso a little bit of a push wide there, but that was all fair in love and war, as they say. And Gilles keeps on hold of P6 at the moment with so many battles through the field. Been a few lunges, some of them clean, some of them a bit, I'm not too sure, but the action out here is probably as warm as the track surfaces right now. That is just something else. And at the moment, we're only going on to lap 13 just now. It's a 28 lap race. We still have half the race still to go. More than half the race still to go. Not even a halfway distance yet. My. This is going to be a heck of a race. I'll just point out now, I'm glad I did this. No interviews tonight because I'm on my own. And I get the feeling at the end of this, I'm going to need that because my voice is going to be absolutely knackered by the end of this one. Anyway, let's keep an eye here. Zach has lost a couple of times to Dario. Dario's got himself back into DRS range. Julie is dropped out of DRS and got Suso coming up behind him. Does the Spaniard fancy trying again on the... No, he's been a wee bit more conservative. See that big lock up of a line there? As Samuel Bean gets another penalty. Oh, drifting from Suso there. And he's retired from the session, and I get the feeling that might be the last time we see the Spaniard here in AOR F1 as well. Suso drifting his way through. It was a bit of Tokyo drift there going on through turns 8 and 9. Later he's going to get a great run through the curve of 10 up towards 11. Nice and easy on the brakes. And he makes his way up into P6 ahead of Gilles, who does seem to be struggling on these hard compound tyres. But Suso's on the mediums. There's no way he's going to be able to get them to the end of the race, so he needs to get a bit of a move on to try and catch up to Zach and Dario, who are on the hard compound tyre as well. So I'll need to keep an eye on that. Caden Forbes into pit lane. These two are your race leaders at the moment. It's Gamer ahead of Aero. 1 and 2, only about 6 times between them at the moment. You'll see Zach very shortly coming through in the background maybe, but not quite. But Caden Forbes in the pits, so one Red Bull does pit 12 laps. Just finishing 13 laps on those medium compound tyres. And he's cried enough. But these two are the leaders. We've not been seen too much because the action's been down the field in what is the theoretical battle for the podium spots at the moment. Domi. That's a good chance for Domi. Blizzard's down in 11th. He's not in the points at the moment. So there's a chance for him to gain some ground. Still second in the championship just now. Down into 6 and 7. Really busting across the corners there. And Mishi with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I'm not surprised seeing a few of them because you do really need to abuse the curbs around here if you want to get a decent lap time. We're going to go and jump to Dario because I've seen that from the long shot, the helicopter there. He is in range. He's not got overtake turned on though at the moment, so he's just deciding. He's going to hold fire. Getting really close under braking though. Come back to the battle for what is 6th position. Gilles, Domi, Surface, Ayamote. 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th pretty much in one shot there. Niche in 10th, nearly 3 seconds down at the moment with a penalty. We'll just do a little bit. I don't think Liam's back in control. No, Liam's not in control of that car. That's still the AI. And I don't think we'll see him back in possibly by the end of this race. Maybe an internet issue at his end. Not ideal. Caden Forbes came back out on the hard compound, the tyres as well. So he's going to try and run them to the end, do the one stopper. Suso's really going to struggle on the mediums. He's surely going to need another pit stop. Comrade Gaming asking for a virtual safety car just as Gamer pits. Well, that could be an interesting one if that was to happen. Oh my goodness me, Zach getting so close to the wall there. Here comes Dario. What can he do coming up towards 6 and 7? He's not going to be close enough. But this is where he needs to get a good exit. Out of 8 and 9. And along this long section here. Through the curve of 10 shortly. And up towards 11. He's going to use overtake. DRS is on. He's not using overtake. He's used quite a lot of his ERS up. So he's obviously deciding he's wanting to save it at the moment. Just stay close enough to the back of that AlphaTauri. Zach's got a little bit, they've basically got the same ERS management at the moment, so they're both doing a pretty good job. Gilles, meanwhile, has just got himself back ahead of Suso, who's locked up going into 13 there, nearly colliding with the back of the AlphaTauri. Gilles getting himself back up into what is P5 at this point in time. That is the battle for the final podium spot here tonight at this point in time, once Aero and Gamer pit, of which Aero has taken the lead off the race. As we were watching down the field, too many battles to keep up with. Absolutely incredible. There is Aero. We need to try and give him a bit of screen time here. Leading the race, the Dutchman. Took a podium last week in Bahrain on penalties. Might lose that depending on how Stewart's results go. But at the moment, he has to have a podium to his name. And he's pulling away from Gamer at the moment, so he seems to be enjoying the medium tyres in the late stages of their life at the moment. Much better than the Brit in behind him. Dario, meanwhile, all over the back of Zach one more time as they come through 6 and 7, through the curve of 8. It's just never ending, that corner, it feels like. And then through 9. Does he this time, as we go on board, decide to use some overtake? He's not at the moment. DRS will be activated about now. And he's closing. You can see the slipstream effect, but he's just pulling out at the end. He doesn't want to make the move yet. He's being tactical. He's trying to force the Frenchman into a mistake is what he's trying to do. Save a bit of battery, and just keep him honest. Maybe keep the tyres in life. Let's have a look. Someone saying his Gamer got damaged because he is dropping back quite dramatically. Yes, he does. You can just see it there on the right-hand end fence. His right, our left. He's missing part of that front wing, so that'll be understeering like a shopping trolley, and straight into pit lane. And both Aero's in as well. Aero into pits as well, so it's not the greatest idea for Gamer to get that wing damage, not ideal, but it's came around the pit stop time, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Ayamote into pit lane. Now, this is someone running a hard comper to tyres, only done 7 laps on them, has the Italians. This is a very interesting pit stop. We'll just quickly see what he goes on to as Gamer pulls out up ahead. Is there wing damage on the Haas? Because that is not a pit stop I was expecting. Aero and Game will go on to soft tyres. Yeah, wing damage for Ayamote, so that's why he's having to make a secondary pit stop. So that makes a bit of sense then. The Italians picked up some damage, ruined his race, however, in the process. And you can see Zach now leading the way. And he's got himself a tad of a gap over Dario. Gilles managed to get out of DRS on Suso. The medium tyres will be starting to wear off on the Spaniard's car, I would imagine. He's going to have Domi for company very quickly. In fact, might even have him for company right now. I hope he's serving lunch, because lunch has just been served by the Italian to the Spaniard. And that's an easy move up into P4 for your Australian Grand Prix winner, Domi. The DRS into 11 and 12. Can he chase after the top three? Can he get himself back to the podium? Be an interesting one to see. Let's just quickly run through the order as Gamer's just gone by on his teammate Caden Forbes, last week's P2 in Bahrain. We'll just run you through the order from top to bottom. So lap 17 of 28, coming up towards the latter stages of this Vietnam Grand Prix, first ever Vietnam Grand Prix here on Apex Online Racing. Zach leads from Dario in second, Julie in third and Domi in fourth. Suso in fifth, Surface in sixth position, the Greek driver. Mishi in seventh. A recovering Blizzard is up to eighth position now, having picked up that wing damage earlier on. Aero in ninth after his pit stop and on soft compound tyres, and 8.5 seconds ahead of Gamer, who's in 10th on softs, but he had to change his front wing. Caden Forbes in 11th, Boss in 12th, not seen much of him because we've been keeping an eye at the front with his teammate. Liam is still ghosting around in 13th. I don't think he's coming back tonight. Ayamote, another pit stop for wing damage, he's down in 14th. Lee Finlay down in 15th, not what you want to see from the Scotsman. And Johan in the Ferrari, we've not seen the Scarlet Machine tonight, and I'm sure Johan will be very happy at that because he's 19 seconds down at this point in time. He's made 2 pit stops and just seems to be struggling here tonight. But it's a different track. It's not one that most people will be too comfortable on, I would imagine, at the moment, as Blizzard and Aero both get by on Mish. But look at Aero go the long way round and take 2 positions in one go, and the Dutchman on the soft compound tyres catching the end of that. But that was beautifully done from the Racing Point driver. Now he's got to defend it through the S's, should be able to do that quite easily, but Blizzard got the move done on Mish. And then Aero went, thanks very much, double slipstream, DRS up towards 11, I'll go round the outside, grippier tyres, brake later, ta-ta, I'm away, see you later. Lovely move, and he's already pulling away by nearly a second through that section. So those soft compound tyres working very nicely indeed. Suso into pit lane for his second stop. No surprise to see Aero with the fastest lap of the race there, 35.3 from the Dutchman, even though he made a double overtake. We just caught the end off at the end of that. Where does Suso come back out? Oh, he's still in pit lane with a wing change as well. So he's gone on to soft compound tyres. He now is going to try get himself back into the points. Aero to win. Well, let's have a look. He's 6.5 seconds down. 10 laps to go, including the one they're on. If he can keep those soft compound tyres running, you never know. It's going to be a tricky one though, but he's got a wall of cars ahead. Here goes Dario, finally deciding now's the time to make the move, and sweeps round the curve of 10, round the outside, easily done, well before the breaking point into 11. Dario takes over the lead of the Vietnam Grand Prix here in AOR, round number 3 of the season, and at the moment it looks like we are going to be on our way to crowning a third different winner from the season. Gamer did get damage. I don't know where, Big C, but I did notice when we checked the pit stop that there was a wing change happening, so he did pick up some damage, absolutely. But it was around the time he's pit stop anyway. He's picked up some more damage though, so I'm guessing that's what you're pertaining to. He's got more damage there on the same side. They did have a wing out, so he's knocked it again. That's not good. He's in the points at the moment. Need to keep an eye out for those coming behind, Suso especially on the soft, but Gamer bumping the wall. Warren saying he might just sit here during PC qualifying. It depends how quick your first lap is, mate. I wouldn't be wanting to start at the back of the field here, tell you that much. It's just Monaco much faster, which is a frightening prospect. Goodness me. Anyway, Dario, Zach, Gilles, 1, 2, 3, Domi 2 seconds down in 4th with Aero up to 5th position ahead of Surface. 1.8 down on Domi, the Dutchman. Our flying Dutchman in this league, and he is flying right now. on the soft compound tyre. We'll follow Mish. It's on the back of Blizzard. Should be a relatively easy DRS pass now. DRS goes on. Oh, Blizzard's going to give him a little bit of a squeeze and go, I know where you're going, but Mercedes should be able to just stream on by. Kind of get it slowed down on time, locks up. Blizzard's going to take up the inside through 12. But Misha's got the inside 13. Can he stick the move? He should be able to. Blizzard's going to fight it. Pushes him wide. He just locked up too much. Blizzard forced the mistake there. Holds on to P7 at the moment. Forgot to mention earlier on as we were starting qualifying, you would have seen the Scott lap from Iceman. Big thanks to Iceman as well for doing that. I know he probably won't be listening right now, but because he's been doing qualifying for PC, because he's in tier 3 I think it is in PC. So you'll be away doing qualifying right now. But if you do want to help me out through the rest of the season with the Scott Laps, you want to be a part of this stream, get in touch with me on Twitter, Andy81287. Suso has retired. We'll come back to my bits at the moment. Has he done that in pit lane or has he done it on the track? That's an interesting thought. It's got to be a been pit lane by the looks of it. Yeah, he's in the pits. So we shouldn't see any problems in terms of safety cars. But Suzo, the second retirement from this race. But yeah, as I was saying, get in touch with me on Twitter, Andy81287. It's in the description down below. Now, it doesn't matter what your pace is, because that's one thing a lot of people have said to me. Oh, I'm not the quickest. Not looking for the absolute quickest. You don't have to be. As long as it's a good, decent lap that shows the general racing line, that's all I'm needing. But get in touch with me and I'll tell you what car and what track combos I'm requiring. I'm good up till Monaco. If you want to help me out for the rest of the season, get in touch. You could be part of this stream. It was like Warren trying to do a bit of a straw poll. Which IGK driver will Aero die to? Well, I'm not too sure. It's not going to be Domi anyway, because he's made his way through on Domi already. I think that's a bit harsh. I know you're just having a bit of a joke with that, Warren, but yeah. I don't think it'll quite be that, but it's going to be a tricky one for them. But you can see the lead of the race now. On lap 22, 28, 7 to go. Not far out now. And Aero is coming. He's got the fastest lap of the race by a long way. 35.3. Only Gamer's the only other driver close to that, and a 36.7. Aero is 1.5 seconds faster than anyone else in this race. No wonder he's closed up from a 7-second gap to 3.3 in a matter of laps. Incredible pace from the Dutchman. Boss is in pit lane. Soft compound of tyres. He's going to try and see if he can maybe steal a point at the end, but he's going to have a lot of ground to make up. That's the problem for Aero. His tyres may start struggling in the last couple of laps. So unless he's gone some Jedi magic on them to keep them in good, decent nick to have a go at these guys, he's going to struggle. But these guys will have done, by the end of the race, they'll have done about 17, 18 laps on these hard compounded tyres. So we shall see. We shall see. But Zach, fresh off that double podium in real life French F4 last week at Magny-Cours, trying to put himself in the podium for the first time here in AOR F1. And he's trying to do it with a victory. Hustling the back of Dario. Dario's been very good here tonight. Gamer and Caden Force both picking up 3-second time penalties for multiple warnings at the exact same time, despite the fact there's about 3.5 seconds between them. So, yeah, I've heard the team synchronization, but that's taken the mick. But well done to them anyway. 23 to 28. Not far to go now. 6 to go, and look at Aero. These guys will know Aero's there as Zach locks up going into 6 and through 7. And they'll know Aero is close. And they'll know he's on the soft compound of tyres. Boss retires from the session. Was that on track? Or was that in the pits? It's in pit lane. You can just see it on the map. So that's fine as Zach sweeps round the curve of 10 up before 11. Retakes the lead of the race. Dario just gives him a push through. This is your top 4. Coming up to 5 to go when they cross the line. Yellow flag in sector 3 is Boss retiring in pit lane, now sector 1. That shouldn't cause a safety car or a virtual safety car, so we should be good with that one. But your top 4 with 5 to go, it's Zach for AlphaTauri, Dario. Oh, look at this, we'll come back to that in a moment, because Aero has just got himself through at turn 22. That's not normally an overtaking possibility, but the Dutchman, he's on a roll. So it's Zach AlphaTauri, Dario in a McLaren, Aero in the Racing Point and on the alternate strategy. And then Gilles in 4th in the other AlphaTauri. So 2 AlphaTauris in the top 4. Domi's dropped off the back of these guys. These guys have just got much more pace at this time. Yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, it's a slow. Oh, it's Boss's McLaren. How the heck has that came out of pit lane? That might cause an issue. Aero will be hoping it does, because then you can save his tyres. No, it's gone away already, so we're going to be safe. He says before it happens. Don't know why the AI let that one come back out, but anyway, Aero up to P3. Now on the back, Dario. He's not going to be close enough coming up to 11. Oh, lock-ups up ahead. Could be any one of these 4, or could be anyone outside the top 4 if these guys have a huge, massive accident, which we hope doesn't happen. We want to see some good racing to the end. Does Aero have a penalty? You know what? Let's just quickly have a look, right? Let's have a quick check. So, penalty for Zach. I remember that one from earlier. So he's got 3 seconds. Nothing for Dario. Nothing for Aero. And nothing for Gilles. So at the moment, Dario is in the lead of the race. Zach has a 3-second time penalty. You remember it from earlier on, actually. So when he was battling with Dario up towards side by side through here, 2 and 3 and into 4, and they were side by side here, and Zach had to take to the escape road. Now he might argue it, but considering there's another warning on there, it probably wouldn't have made a difference, but he ended up with one anyway. So at this point in time on track, Zach leads, but he's going to drop down to 4th. So your podium at the moment is Dario, Aero and Gilles. It's 2, 3 and 4. Zach's trying to play a bit of a dampener to help his teammate, I would imagine, but also in the hope that he might have the penalty removed if the stewards were to deem it to be too harsh. Here comes Aero, no overtake. You can see Dario is going to have to go the long way around into 11. Zach's going to push him. Look at, oh my goodness, being sliding there from Dario. Aero was already there. Dario got sideways under braking. Aero was there at the corner. He had the inside line still, turned in, trying to control the car. Aero gets through up into P2, but that was very, very close to being a huge accident. Meanwhile, Mish has just got through on Blizzard up into turn 11 and 12. I think I need to calm down, I think I'm probably annoying the neighbours right now. Sorry. It's hard to not get excited at some of the action going on out here. But yeah, Dario. Dario got squirmy going under braking there. And then as he corrected it, Aero was already up the inside. So I'd say racing incident. I wouldn't call that one a dive bomb, to be perfectly honest. But the car got squirmy. I don't think he turned in intentionally. If you watch the onboard go back, so we're on board with Aero, that rear end of the McLaren was starting to point right, coming into a left-hander. I think he was just correcting the car, and it meant he had to take the corner as well. Oh, Aero's got a great run through the corner off the curb. Look at these 4, this is for the win. Oh, and Gilles gone round. Gilles gone round. And that's going to allow Surface through. Surface is now up to 4th. That's going to allow Domi. Domi's fell behind Surface. Here comes Aero. Here comes Dario. We're not going to have 3 wide into 11. Oh my god, hold your breath and get the popcorn out. Oh my goodness, big crash. That's wing damage for both the McLaren and the Racing Point. Look at that. Oh my goodness me, they just got far, far too aggressive. Both of them have got damage. It's going to ruin the handling. You can see it on the Racing Point and you can see it on both sides of the McLaren. And oh my goodness me. That was not what we wanted to see. We wanted to see this one go to the line. They bumped together. Was it lag? Was it just too close? Did they overcompensate? I don't know. But Zach's been given a reprieve. Because remember, he's got a 3-second time penalty. And now he can pull away, build up the buffer. And unless his teammate can close up and be within 3 seconds, Zach might just win this one. Aero's going to struggle. Dario's really going to struggle. Gilles and Surface might just get themselves on the podium here. And Gilles is going to go through very easily indeed. Through turns 2 and 3 on Dario. Oh, Surface has gone the long way. Dario's busted his wing again. Oh, and Dario dropping down the field. Here comes Domi now, going to the outside of Surface. The long way round into 6 and 7. Nice move from the Italian. What is Dario doing? He's pushing his way through there. That's a bumper cars. That's aggressive. He's got wing damage. Pick your battles, man. Come on. Surface done nothing wrong there. I think people are letting the red mist descend slightly at this point in time. Gilles got through on Aero, DRS easily making that one. So now the question is, can Gilles catch his teammate? 3 seconds with a 3-second penalty. Does he have the speed to get within that buffer? Surface and Dario are still battling. Blizzard's just gone through as well. Caden Forbes going through on his teammate Gamer also. My goodness, what an end to the race. Domi's going to get himself in the podium at this rate. Look at that! Round the outside of 20 because of the wing damage. 2 Aeros, he made that look easy in a place he would never pass. Dario's really dropping down the field. There's only 1 lap to go. Surface is going to have a really good chance here of getting if he can catch up to Domi, get by Aero quickly, can put himself in the podium, but Domi is on for the final podium. Gilles is within 3 seconds at this point in time. Oh my goodness me, who wins it? Who is going to win this one? Is it going to be Zach or is it going to be Gilles? 2.8 is the gap. 3-second penalty. Don't forget. For the race leader at the moment, Zach. The Surface cheats his way across the corner. Probably got a warning for that one. It was a little bit more than normal, but he's got himself through an Aero into P4. That might just be his best result in AOR as well. In the top tier. Oh, rest my achy heart. Goodness me. I think Gilles might just do this. 2.9. Keep an eye on that gap. Can Zach stretch out those last couple of attempts? That last 1,000th season. He's there at the moment. I'm trying to get the wing graphic set up, but I don't know who it's going to be. This is going to be so close. Blizzard's got through on Dario, who's struggling with no front wing. Coming through the final couple of corners. Zach's drove an amazing race. It's been a fantastic effort from the Frenchman, but I think it's all going to be for nothing. Zach crosses the line on track to win the French Grand Prix, but the winner on track is his teammate Gilles on penalties. He lost out on a podium last week because of penalties. Now he gains a race victory on it. IGK Gilles is the race winner. A 1-2 for AlphaTauri. 18 thousandths of a second in it. Domi in 3rd. Surface with 4th position in the end. Aero takes 5th in what could have been a victory if it had not been for the incident with Dario. And well, I'm sure that one will be debated afterwards in the steward's office. Another one for those to be put in the gulag. Blizzard recovers for P6. That'll mean he holds the championship lead at least. Mish in 7th. Solid points again for him in the Mercedes. Dario in 8th. He could be in a little bit of trouble at the end of this one. Caden Forbes 9th. Gamer rounds out the points in 10th. Viamotti in 11th. But my goodness me. What a race we have just seen. Aero gets driver of the day coming through the field. But my goodness, what a finish. 18 thousandths of a second. Gilles takes the victory from Zach on a 3-second penalty. Wow. As they celebrate on the podium, and well, AlphaTauri at first place. We've seen that recently in real life. It's a 1-2 here in Vietnam. Obviously before penalties kick in, of course. We'll see if that comes about, but no post-race chat tonight, Ali Monda. I can't. My voice is knackered after that one. Anyway, Julie wins. No penalties. Zach loses out on that 3-second time penalty by 18 thousandths of a second. Domi back on track for the championship in third. Surface in fourth. The Aero up from 15th on the grid, and the bonus point for the fastest lap as well. What could have been though for the Dutchman after last week's podium? Could have had a win here tonight. Blizzard recovers to P6 in the end after his wing damage early door. Michi in 7th, Dario 8th. I think he might be in a bit of trouble, the Italian. Caden Forbes 9th and Gamer in 10th, more points for Red Bull. Ayamotti in 11th, Lee Finley rounds out 12th, Johan 13th. Liam was not in control of the car at the end in 14th. Boss retired 15th, Souza retired, as did Sammy Bean, and I think it'll be the last time we see Sammy Bean in AOR as well. But what a race that was. Unbelievable stuff out on track. A lot of it was good. Couple of bits, maybe not, but oh my, we've seen a bit of I think we might have seen a bit of red mist at the end of that one. It's very possible that might have been the case. Normally we would be switching to the interviews at this point, but because I've been doing this solo and my voice is absolutely knackered now, I've not had a drink for about the last hour or so. I am dry as the bottom of a budgie's cage, as we would say, up here in Scotland. So we are going to be ending the stream there tonight. We'll be back next week, heading a little bit north of Vietnam to China, to Shanghai's international circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix. Back to a track that drivers will at least know relatively well through previous seasons. And then we head to the other new track in the calendar the week after for the Dutch Grand Prix at the Zandvoort circuit. I've seen some good races around there already, so it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out in a couple of weeks' time. Then we go to Catalonia and Monaco to round out the first 7 races, and then we'll have a week's break. But China next week, the scene of Lee Finley's first debut AOR victory last season. Can he repeat it? You wouldn't think so in current form, but Julie takes the victory here at Vietnam and makes it 3 different winners from the first 3 races here in AOR's PS4 F1 League. Thank you very much to everyone for joining me tonight. I'd like to thank once again to Iceman for providing this week's Scott video. And again, if you do want to help me out with that, get in touch with me on Twitter. It's in the description below. And you could be part of one of the future streams as well, with the additional stuff that I've been trying to do to make this stream entertaining. Until next time, thank you very much everyone for watching. Stay safe, look after yourselves. My name's Andy Campbell. Until next time, I'll see you again soon. Ta-da.